Who lives in a colony under the sea.
Bryozoa.
Just take a look at their phylogeny.
Bryozoa.
Filtering water is something you wish.
Bryozoa.
Then attach to a rock and look at the fish.
Bryozoa. 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 Bryozoa.
Hi, I'm Ethan, this is Will, and this is Reese, and today we're going to be talking about the phylogeny of Bryozoa.
It all started in Bikini Bottom.
No, it didn't. The earliest known fossil of Bryozoa was found in the Ordovician period, about 480 million years ago.
Bryozoa are part of the Lophophorata clade, along with organisms Brachiopoda and Phoronida. Mollusca and Annelida are also in a clade together separate from Bryozoa, similar to the way that they are seen in our other two trees. We'll talk about the subgroups of Bryozoa in a second.
There's not a lot of genetic data for Bryozoa, and it is therefore hard to place it accurately on the trees. In the two trees we made in class, Annelida and Mollusca are in the same clade in both phylogenies and in published literature. But the discrepancies are whether Echinodermata and Chordata are sister taxa and whether Cnidaria and Bryozoa are sister taxa. It is hard to relate these two organisms. In both cases, Porifera is an outgroup.
Over 6,000 species have been identified and classified in three groups, known as Phylolomata, Stenolomata, and Gymnolomata.
It likes to grow on hard things like clams, rocks, and Mr. Krabs' boatmobile.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, maybe not the boatmobile, but it does like to form its colonies and grow them on hard objects.
Speaking of colonies, they do form colonies and can bud indefinitely after they have made a home for themselves. This is through a process that they call metamorphosis. They are hermaphrodites.
An individual in a colony of Bryozoa is called a zooid, but the first one is called an ancestral. Once it's free-floating and the ancestral settles down on a rock that it can attach to, it will pretty much continue to bud indefinitely unless it's preyed upon and form a colony there.
Aside from a few oddballs that are able to stick their tongue out in order to catch particles in the water, these creatures have no locomotion. One interesting fact about Bryozoa is that they actually have tiny little snapping jaws made up of zooids, also known as avicularia, that are able to pluck off foreign organisms on its outside.
They are filter feeders and can filter up to 8.8 milliliters a day. This is a great service to the ecosystem. It keeps the water clean, and it helps them keep a pest under control, which happens to be their main food source. Will, I know you're getting antsy about that food source.
That's right, they control the plankton in the water, and this, along with water filtration, is the ecosystem service it provides to humans. However, on the downside, Bryozoa often can harbor parasites, especially in salmon fish, which hurt the species and the food source.
Don't eat salmon sushi.
Mr. Green, if they're able to filter almost 9 milliliters of water per day, where does all the waste go? That's a good question made from the past, especially because Bryozoa don't have any excretory organs. Ammonia diffuses through the outer wall of the Bryozoa body and the lipophore.
Interestingly enough, while these little guys can grow to only about 4 millimeters in length, plankton can grow to well over 1 millimeter, over a quarter of their size. That's enough about excretion. Let's talk about the birds and the bees, or should I say, the jellyfish and the clams.
Okay, that was pretty bad, but I think where Reese is going with this is the reproductive characteristics of Bryozoa.
Right. What's so cool about these organisms is that they're actually hermaphroditic, meaning that they're able to produce both sperm and egg cells.
An advantage like that is huge, especially among small populations where they can still mate. Bryozoa sure are amazing.